Welcome back. Today we're looking at Watchtower's biggest project. Their biggest project. The Ramapo Audio-Visual Center in New York. Billed as the future of their media empire. This massive complex was supposed to be running already. Instead, it's facing major delays, community frustration, and growing costs. We're going to blow this up, take a look at it, and we're going to blend into what's going on in the local news. So let's watch this clip.
Some Rockland commuters are getting impatient with the Jehovah Witnesses' massive project on the edge of Rockland County. Contractors are running into problems installing utility lines around the site of the group's future media center. News 12's Ben Namdi is in Ramapo with the very latest.
Commuters want to know what the holdup is with the project on Sterling Mine Road. The group is building an audio-visual center that will include production workshops, offices, a gym, and 645 apartments for the volunteers who will be producing the group's videos and literature. It's going to be almost as big as their world headquarters in nearby Warwick.
It's taking forever.
Chris Elias says it seems like each time he drives through the site, another section of road has been dug up and covered by water and gas contractors. It's bumpy.
It's been going on for months, and the road is just like really crappy to drive on.
Drivers are telling me it's been going on far too long. It's getting old. They still probably have a few more months to go, though.
We feel your pain.
A Jehovah's Witnesses spokesperson says as contractors were excavating to install utility lines, they hit rock, and lots of it. They had to blast it out. That set back the project a few months. The spokesperson says they're almost done, though, and the entire stretch of road is going to be repaved in the next couple of weeks.
There's no good time to open up a construction project like this. But this is a town development that develops the water and sewer district all the way to the county line. And so that won't take place again.
Work by the road is expected to wrap up in November. As for the 1.7 million square foot AV center itself, it's going to be completed in 2030. In Ramapo, Rockland County, Ben Nandy, News 12.
Okay, so that's the News 12 article. That's what they're talking about. Massive Jehovah's Witness construction project in Rockland suffers delays. Locals are impatient. Could you imagine living in that community and this big complex comes in? It's tax-free. And that news article said that the community has to put all these big pipes in. Imagine the water, the extra water all those residences will use, all the extra electricity that whole complex will use. It has to be tied into the grid. It's not self-sustaining. So there's a huge infrastructure upgrade, tax-free. The community's not making anything. In fact, the community is just suffering, putting up with all this stuff, and they have this big complex that is way behind schedule. So that's what this article's talking about. I want to move into another article we found. It's Newsweek. U.S. Newsweek. Jehovah's Witnesses announced plans to build a gigantic media center despite recent spotlight on child abuse allegations. So what's this all about? It doesn't look good because it's bad timing. The Jehovah's Witnesses announced plans to build this big 1.5 million square foot audiovisual production center in upstate New York, 2 miles away from the Witness headquarters in Warwick. The organization plans to create more videos with parenting device despite recent bombshell investigation alleging wide-scale child abuse and cover-ups. So that's the headlines talking about this wide-scale. It's just bad timing. They're trying to be this big publishing company, and now I don't think they would have got the permits at the outset had the community known about all the cover-ups and had that come out then. So it doesn't look good for Watchtower. They talk about it might take up to 5 years for the complex to be completed, 1,000 volunteers. And, then they say, however, there's the media center, they talk about all the CSA child abuse cases. And they go on to talk about that in this article for quite some time. The victims reports came out in August of a 3-part series of news combining investigation with interviews with 13 victims. And Pennsylvania, all the stuff that's coming out in Pennsylvania right there in their backyard. So they can't help but look at this stuff, and they talk about all of this in this article. Now, I wanted to show you in the article where they actually talk about the completion. And this is Mordecai. He's from Jehovah's Witness. He's a Jehovah's Witness spokesperson, and that's what it brings out in this article. But he said by the road, this road work that this news article we seen the video on, it will be wrapped up in November. But he said the 1.7 square foot AV center itself is expected to be completed in 2030. And folks, this is a news journalist. Mordecai is a spokesperson for Jehovah's Witnesses. And here it is, 2030 in the newspaper is when they expect this thing. And again, that's an expectation. So the Jehovah's Witnesses themselves expect it to be done in 2030. So we go to Ramapo. I'm on Jehovah's Witness site right now, and I just plugged in Ramapo. This was the very first thing that came up, July 15th, 2025, Global News, it says. As work progresses, a Ramapo site is beginning to take shape. A retention pond prevents flooding and ensures that only clean water runs off the site. So I would hope they would have more than what's in this picture. But this is all they're showing us, folks. This is it. Some earth movers and people. So they're not telling the whole story. What's really going on there? They're just giving this. As work rapidly progresses, we pray for Jehovah's continued blessing on all those who have made themselves available. You see, all free labor, folks, to assist with this existing project. None of the other charity religions expect their people to do free labor, but that's how this group works. This isn't about that. It's about the news. It's about, when is this project going to be done? What's all the delays about? Well, we can't find anything on JW.org. We plug in Ramapo. I plug in Ramapo there. And all that comes up is this news release, this update. And then the rest is old stuff. It's all this hype. I actually got sucked into watching a few videos. And they were all hyped up. Jehovah was behind them. And this is a huge deal in the town. They even had a clip, the town board of Ramapo approved special permit. They had to get a special permit to build buildings over 35 feet high. And their thing is going to tower up to 75 feet high. So they had to have a special permit. And, but I bet if all the CSA back in 2022, when this all went down, it's a different story now, folks, for this religion. But we seen it in the news. That's it. There's delays. Ramapo, it doesn't look good. So when we look at the vision and we look at what's happening today, when the governing body announced Ramapo, it was sold as their flagship, a world-class studio complex, to replace Brooklyn's presses and prove that they're a digital powerhouse. But the timeline, folks, it keeps slipping. First, it was 2026, and reports show the project won't be finished until 2030. We've seen that from the news headlines itself. And that was right from the Watchtower spokesperson. So the delays, what's causing the stall? Well, utility crews hit solid rock trying to run lines. So that meant blasting, rerouting, big setbacks. And if you know anything about blasting, there's a lot of jackhammer work, and they have to jackhammer little holes, and then they put the charge in the hole. I worked for a blasting company when I was 18, and it's quite interesting. But a lot of noise, a lot of rattle, rattle, rattle. So if you're living in a peaceful community, that's all you're going to hear for months on end through the 2025 summer. You'll remember that forever. And the local drivers complain about the torn up roads, endless traffic, and noise. All the while, the costs keep rising for the community. They have to put in all these lines, this infrastructure to support this big Ramapo. Tax-free. It's a religious community. Well, the community pushback, it isn't just reconstruction headaches. Locals are asking some other important questions. They're asking why all this disruption for a religious corporation already facing scandals. With the abuse lawsuits, the money fights in court, the shine of a world-class media center is fading fast. So why does this matter? Well, what does Ramapo tell us? Printing is gone. Magazines are now rationed or digital only. We see that with their worldwide campaign here for September. And donations are shrinking. Lawsuits and the scandals, they weigh heavy. We look at that Montana case, what that cost them. It was awarded $35 million initially, and it settled out of court later after Brumley got fined $154,000 or $58,000. Not sure which number that is. I think they charged him $158,000 and they settled with $154,000 is what the picture was there. But that's not a picture of confidence, folks. It's project stalling under pressure. So for years, Watchtower said, Jehovah is speeding up the work. But folks, if God was behind this, would his project be stuck in delays, CSA lawsuits, and community pushback? Instead of a divine timetable, Ramapo looks like the handwriting is on the wall. Expensive, delayed, and out of step with reality. Well, thanks to watching Watchtower for bringing this to our attention. And folks, stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed yet, it's a good time to. Things are just starting to get exciting. And the cracks are showing when we look at the Watchtower. So keep living your life with love. Love doesn't have anything to do with Watchtower. So love is a total different story. We'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.
Money makes the world go round. I'm the talk around town. Remy gave me the sound. Fat pockets. I need that Skrilla on the Rilla. Fat pockets. I need that Skrilla on the Rilla. Money makes the world go round. I'm the talk around town. Remy gave me the sound. Fat pockets. I need that Skrilla on the Rilla. Fat pockets. I need that Skrilla on the Rilla. You got a $5 bill, put your hands up. You got a $10 bill, put your hands up. You got a $20 bill, put your hands up. You got a $50 bill, put your hands up. Holla, holla. Money makes the world go round. I'm the talk around town. Remy gave me the sound. I need that Skrilla on the Rilla. I need that Skrilla on the Rilla.